so just go. I'll go once through the sign-up sheet and then return to the top of the sheet to ask if anyone who has already spoken wishes to speak again. However, we'll see what the turnout looks like, if that will be necessary. And if necessary, then I'll repeat the process. And we do plan to adjourn this meeting no later than 8 p.m. for those who attend usual council meetings. If it's okay with everybody, we can adjourn earlier than 8 p.m. too. We'll see. Additional comments, if anybody has them, can be forwarded to info@friendshipheightsmd.gov or dropped off at the village office, headed, please, with comments on the pedestrian master plan and your name and address. Tonight, we won't be providing an overview of the plan. We're assuming that with a month's notice, ample notice given, those with comments have read it. However, as of today, we have scheduled for our November council meeting a presentation by the lead county planning department staff to discuss the document. We won't be accepting comments tonight on any other topic. And if you wish to speak on another issue, please note that we will be meeting as council this coming Monday night for a monthly council meeting, and feel free to share your comments on other topics at that time. If you stray off topic tonight, I'll simply ask you to end your remarks. Council members will not be responding to any comments tonight. We'll simply be listening to yours as part of our process of alerting county agencies to village suggestions and priorities at some point in the future. We would adopt any final comments for the county at a future meeting, perhaps at December's council meeting, in light of the fact we will have a presentation by the lead staff person on this topic coming in November. And at this point, there's really no pressure of a deadline facing us. For official purposes and at the suggestion of my fellow council member, I'll declare the meeting open at the time I started my remarks. And let me now see if there's, if I can recognize any other council member who wanted to make any comments before I proceed to recognize those who are here. Mayor, anything? No comments. Okay, Councilwoman Salt. Great. Then one last note, this meeting is being live streamed and recorded. By presenting comments tonight, you have agreed to be recorded and to have the recording posted, your recording posted on the village website for others to review. Please be respectful of comments made by others. Neither signs of, neither applause nor signs of derision will be helpful to our hearing what people are saying. So with that, I have the sign-up sheet. Is everybody who wanted to speak tonight signed up? Then we'll start with Paul Brown. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you very much, and thank you for holding the hearing. Very important subject. Just the plan put forward by the council, Montgomery County Council. I do support that, and thank you for making comments from the village on that. Support those comments. Just a couple things I wanted to maybe highlight, areas where we could improve. I think we have a pretty good record here in the village, and particularly I'd like to praise Julian and the staff for making sure that the bumps in the sidewalk, uneven, are ground down. That is really, really important, I think. But just a couple thoughts. One thing is crosswalk timing. We have a couple crosswalks on Wisconsin Avenue, and I wonder if the timing of the lights there could be changed, because in the county's plan, they say a lead time for pedestrians. So before a light turns green for cars, there's a walk signal that's on for a little bit. Particularly with some of our elderly folks, I think that might be helpful. Secondly, the crosswalk in front of the Barlow building. That's a great innovation, but when you press it, you have to wait a really long time before that light changes for cars and gives you the walk signal as a pedestrian. I'm wondering if pedestrians could be prioritized over cars at that crosswalk. Finally, the county's plan emphasizes also enforcement. I think that's important. This is not directly a pedestrian issue, but on Willard Avenue, I think cars routinely exceed 25 miles per hour. I'm wondering if that might be a location for a speed camera. Whether or not the village is a special taxing authority could get any of the revenue, I don't know, but just as an enforcement measure to calm the traffic, I think that's something worth considering. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Christine Nauer.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for holding this hearing. I agree with you about traffic calming measures. I think that they're very important, but I'm here to talk about a road that is not in the village itself, but is very important for village residents, and that is River Road. And it is truly a hazard the way the traffic is allowed to speed down that road. I wrote an email to Montgomery County about this. They were asking for comments. I've not heard a thing back from them, but my suggestions were, number one, speed cameras along River Road starting at Western Avenue, not now when they're going only up to Little Falls Parkway. That is not adequate, and that does not address our problem in the village. I live in Willard Towers, and there are a number of young families in our building whose children go to the Westbrook School. Now, they have to cross River Road at Willard Avenue, these little kids, in order to get to and from school every day. And that is a hazard right now because the cars are going 50 miles an hour. The sidewalk is slightly wider than this podium, which is very, very inadequate for something that's a speed street. So my suggestion is put speed cameras, make the speed limit 25 or whatever, with speed cameras and warnings all over the place. Extend their study up to Western Avenue, not stopping at Little Falls Parkway, because the worst part of it is up toward Western. And putting some kind of barriers, if they can't widen the sidewalk, put some kind of barrier, because the curb on that side, I was just on it today, is about 5 inches high. And those cars are coming from me to you at 50 miles an hour, and it is very, very dangerous. So those are my suggestions for the village to get involved, because we have residents who use that intersection in River Road, even though it's not within your jurisdiction.
Thank you very much, Ms. Nauer. Tino Calabia.
Tino Calabia, I live on Willard Avenue. Thank you, Mr. Chair and the board for holding this meeting. I intend to make formal comments next week when I think you're having the people here. In any event, what I'm going to do is hand out to the board 3 pages which contain the United States Access Board's access guidelines, which were just released last month, and they became effective September 7th. It's a wonder that it's taken a couple of decades to come up with these standards for what streets and sidewalks should be. Among them, for example, are how wide a sidewalk should be, in particular with respect to people who use wheelchairs or walkers or other kinds of assistive devices, but also, obviously, for pedestrians in general. The other thing is it deals with surfaces. They should be firm, stable, and slip resistant. With respect to the traffic lights and the timing for pedestrians to be able to cross, They do deal with that kind of thing and traffic signals. I don't remember that speed cameras are included, but I didn't go thoroughly through the 15 or 20 pages of the entire guidelines. I do have, though, here 3 pages of some of the excerpts, and I'll give these to you, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for holding this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Calabria. If you want to, Mr. Calabria, if you want to give those to Julian, the village manager, thanks very much. We'll make sure all the members get them. Roger Cacchetti. Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks. I will be brief and have a few comments. First, as a matter of process, if I understood things correctly at the last meeting, village council meeting, the village council already approved the proposed plan and made specific recommendations. And just as a matter of process, it seemed to me that was exactly upside down. That what should have happened was this hearing should have taken place before the council took it up, so that the council had the benefit of people's input before they went through it. The council went through the entire plan so quickly it was impossible for any of the people in the audience to follow the details of it. There was one specific item that came up that I recall because I did take exception to it, and that was the idea of taking Willard Avenue and creating bicycle lanes on both sides. I am not only a daily walker, but also an enthusiastic bicyclist, and have been for 60 years at least, and have bicycled along Willard Avenue along with a lot of other places. I think that's a bad idea. First of all, the volume of bicycle traffic along Willard Avenue is infinitesimally small. Secondly, what will happen is the cars that are now parked on Willard Avenue will be forced to look around and find other parking spaces. And thirdly, there are better solutions for the half-dozen bicycles that take that route every day. As a general proposition, when the subject of bicycling comes up, I would hope that the council would resist the temptation to jump to this fashionable idea of bicycle lanes, taking car lanes away and converting them to bicycle lanes, and instead look more at bicycle trails. The fabulous success of the Crescent Trail, where there are hundreds, if not thousands, of bicyclists every day, along with walkers, to me shows that trails attract everybody. And, so as a general proposition, I think that the notion of bicycle lanes has been a failure, and counterproductive. Bicycle trails and walking trails are the preference of just about anybody who uses a bike or walks along. So those are my comments. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cacchetti. Carolyn Morgan.
I didn't realize that was a sign up for speaking. I thought it was just an attendance sign up. But since I'm here, I say people go through that stop sign from South Park on to Friendship without stopping. And the other comment I'd have, which always bothers me, is the light at the bottom of South Park, wherever it is. It's the light by Whole Foods anyway. That I think was added a few years ago. People push the button, cross, and then there's nothing happens, and the cars are sitting there polluting, and nobody else is walking across, which seems, it's just more pollution into the atmosphere, and it doesn't help anybody. I got knocked flat a few years ago at the bottom of Hills Plaza, crossing Willard. I was on Willard and crossing, and the guy didn't see me and knocked me flat, and I ended up in the hospital, but I was fine. Anyway, so that's everything I have to say.
Thank you, Ms. Morgan. I'm glad you're fine. Joyce Paul, is that the correct last name? Yes. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm new here, so I have very little to say, and like this lady, I didn't sign up to speak. I just thought it was in attendance. But I'm very glad that someone has spoken about River Road. I am very concerned, although I'm very new, I'm very concerned about River Road. And I understood that there was a plan about bicycle lane on River Road, which I think it's dangerous to begin with, and I think adding a bicycle lane is a terrible idea. And I come from a place where there were a lot of bicycle lanes. They were very unsuccessful. They made people more upset, more stressed. There were more accidents. And there are many, many places where you can have a wonderful trail. I've been on the trails. People love the trails. They're very happy, but they don't belong on River Road. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Paul.
And welcome to the neighborhood.
Congratulations. I see no other people who are signed up to speak. Is there anyone else who would like to make comments about the pedestrian master plan? Please. And would you give us your name once you get up there?
My name is Effie Bagitas, and I've lived here for 4 years.
I'm sorry, before you get started, would you tell me your name slowly again so I can write it down?
Okay, yeah, I'll spell it for
Okay.
you. The first name is Effie, E, F as in Frank, I.
Okay.
And the last name is Bagitas, P as in Peter, A, G as in George, I, T as in Tom, S as in Sam, A, S as in Sam.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I want to comment about the intersection of Wisconsin Avenue and Bradley Boulevard. I shop up there, and I'm a low vision person. I'm using a cane. And that particular intersection, I noticed that it's not ADA compliant. In fact, there's a free right turn from Wisconsin Avenue North into Bradley East, and which is in conflict with the pedestrians, and that particular movement is not controlled by the light. You have to take your life in your hands and cross that particular portion of the exiting, cross the free right turns and come to the island. And only then, at the island, you can push a button to finish crossing Bradley Boulevard. And I find that it doesn't fit my needs, and it needs to be paid attention to. I sent a letter to Montgomery County, and I copied the district highway engineer office. I haven't heard back, and so I'm curious about what is your process, whether you collect this, the process of Montgomery County and the district office also, whether you collect these observations or complaints and then send them to some central location to be prioritized and looked at. I haven't looked at the plan. I want to look at the plan. And I hope that that particular intersection is made ADA compliant. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me ask again, is there anyone else who would like to speak? Is there anyone? Ms. Nauer? Yep.
Yeah, I agree with the gentleman here who talked about the lights in Wisconsin Avenue. I'm talking about the intersection right where I think Tiffany's is. So that, to cross Wisconsin Avenue, I think they give you 20 seconds or 18 seconds or something like that. It's ridiculous. That building right at that intersection with Highland House or Lincoln House, people are very elderly there, and you'll see someone with a cane waiting for the light and then realizing they're supposed to go, and they get halfway through the intersection and they can't make it because you've got 3 rows of cars on each side. So I think the timing on that intersection is very hazardous right now for pedestrians, and that should be people should be given a full 45 seconds or whatever it takes to get safely across. And I don't care if it blocks the cars going north and south on Wisconsin Avenue. This is much more important.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who wishes to speak? Is there anyone else who wishes to speak? Is there anyone else who wishes to speak? Seeing none, let me ask my fellow council members whether they would like to make any closing comments. Mayor? No. Okay. Councilwoman Salt?
Just thanks for coming.
Thank you all very much. I declare this council public hearing meeting closed.